and he puts his hand on my bum. And he puts his arm around me again. His hand is starting to move sort of here. He has no idea that I'm not genetically female. You only live once, don't you? So I caught the train at Blackheath as Sarah, sort of knee-length flowery skirt, this top, my big new cardigan, flat shoes, nude sheer tights. "20 minutes up to Charing Cross, got the underground. Got to Euston and caught the 9 o'clock train, the last train home to Liverpool. It was delayed by about half an hour, so we didn't get away till about 9:30 at night. And it's about two and a half hour trip. So there was a couple of other stops on the way, so we didn't get into Liverpool till about 12:25. Now, it's about a 10-minute walk when you get out of Lime Street Station to the bus stop. And so I walked through town, you know, fully dressed up, no problem. Town's very busy, very lively, but no one seemed to pay me much attention. And I got to the bus stop in the center, and I noticed that I just missed the last bus. So there was no more trains either, no more local trains. So I would have had to get a taxi. So anyway, I thought, well, as I was standing around thinking about what to do, you know, I'm standing there, and this guy comes over. I'm standing outside a takeaway shop, a kebab house. And this guy comes up to me, and he's clearly had a lot to drink, and he smelt really bad. He'd been smoking cigarettes, and it was incoherent. I couldn't understand a word he was saying. So we kind of sort of mumbled at each other, and then eventually he disappeared. That was just me standing on the street corner for like 2 minutes, thinking, all right, I'm gonna have to walk to the taxi rank, which is about 5 minutes away. So anyway, I thought, well, I'll stand here for another 5-10 minutes, just see what happens. You know, see if I attract male attention, because I try not to, but you know, it's Saturday night, everyone's out, everyone's had a few drinks. Let's see what happens. But it's not the easiest. I've got my big suitcase with me as well, so you know, it's a bit of a drag. But I know I had a 10-minute walk back into town to the cab rank anyway. So I stood there for another 5-10 minutes, and next to me there was a guy talking to a cab driver. I didn't pay much attention to him, but he was obviously asking about where his hotel was, and the cab driver didn't know. So he comes up to me when he's finished talking to the cab driver, and he comes up and he talks to me. And he's a Scottish guy.
It's shite being Scottish!
Tells me his name's Caleb. He's here on a stag party, or bachelor party. And he's lost his friends. His mobile phone has gone dead, so he can't get in touch with anyone. And he's booked into this hotel, and he's asking around, but no one's ever heard of it. So I plugged the name of the hotel in, you know, very politely. Yeah, I'll look for it. So I plugged the name of his hotel in, and I found it. I found it on Google Maps, and you know, it was about 1:45, 10:50 by now. I was in no rush. I knew I had to walk to the cab rank, and his hotel was on the way to the cab rank. So I said, well, I know where it is, and I'm going that way. So if you want me to show you where it is, then no problem. So he's very appreciative. As I say, tells me his name, tells me he's down from Edinburgh on this stag party. And then he offers to carry my suitcase for me, or pull my suitcase on wheels. So I thought, okay, fine, you can pull my suitcase for me. So then he starts to sort of ask me about me, and obviously I tell him who I am or who I'm not, and get very friendly. So we start walking down the road towards the hotel. And he puts his hand on my bum.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, okay. So I gently push it away, but not...
Get off of me!
But just not now, not here. And we keep walking, and he's really starting to flirt with me. And I'm getting into it. I'm getting into the female mode. And I'm really starting to flirt back with him. Nothing suggestive, just generally sort of very overly familiar conversation between two strangers. Eventually we come to his hotel, and he tried to put his arm around me as well. He tried to put his arm around my bum as we were getting closer to the hotel, which I kind of let him do for 5 or 10 seconds, and then I decided maybe not. So I find his hotel, and it's down a dark alleyway. It's down this sort of really black dead end, and I never knew it was there. So it's not surprising none of the cab drivers knew there was a hotel there. So at that point, so I was about to say goodnight, and he throws both his arms around me and tries to kiss me. So which is a bit, so I sort of got caught a bit, oh, okay. I mean, when I'm in these situations, I usually just relax and just assume they know that I'm trans. And it was quite clear from his conversation and his behaviour that he had no idea that I wasn't what he thought I was. And so he throws both his arms around me and he tries to kiss me. So again, I push him away. I say, oh, no, I've got a girlfriend. I've got a boyfriend. And he says, oh, so what? He's Scottish. So he's like, so what? I'm married, and he shows me his wedding ring on his finger. Because that just tells me that he's just a bit of an arse, really, isn't he? If he's going to cheat on his wife like that with someone he's met on the corner of a street 5 minutes ago. Anyway, then he starts asking me to go up to his hotel room. So, I'm just not going to do this. Bear in mind, it's dark. We're down a dark alleyway. I've got away with it so far. But if I go into his room with bright lights on, and I'm just not going to take that risk. So I'm thinking about this. Do I give him a kiss? Do I not? It's something that's kind of always there in the background for Sarah. The final step, if you like, the final step of being Sarah is to go there. So I decide, well, look, this is going to be a bit graphic here, but I decide, look, if I'm going to do this, then I just can't risk anything. So I say to him, I need to pee. And so I need to go to the toilet. So I go into the toilet in this hotel, sort of the downstairs sort of reception area. There's no one around. And I get the tape I use to pull my face, and I tape something else as far back as it possibly can. Just can't take any risks in case he puts his hand where, he's going to have more of a surprise than anything else. So I tape it right back. I come down the stairs, and then we're back outside again, down this alleyway outside his hotel. So I said, well, okay, I made up a story about, my sister was coming to pick me up, and she's going to be here in 20 minutes. Gives me an excuse to go away, and I've been to London for work. My sister's going to be here in about 15 minutes, so you can take me for a quick drink. So I took him to this pub in Liverpool. I know it's near a place called Concert Square, which is a very busy square. I knew somewhere where we could sit out where I wouldn't be sort of illuminated, but I also knew there was enough people around that if there was any problems, they'd all come to my rescue, hopefully. Anyway, so when sat at the table out the front of this bar, and he goes in and he goes and gets me an orange juice. So he comes back, sits down, he's got himself a drink, still made no contact with his friends. I mean, he said his phone was dead, so, you know, I don't know, it's just me and him anyway. And we're sitting together on this kind of double chair, and he puts his arm around me again. So this time I kind of think, all right, okay, Sarah, settle into it now, you know. Pulling my sleeves right down so he can't see if my hands are too big, and making sure my Adam's apple's really covered up. And he puts his arm around me and he starts moving towards me with his mouth. And I thought, you only live once, don't you? So in the end, he stuck his tongue in my mouth and I kind of reciprocated. So we were kissing each other. He was cuddling me, putting his arm around me and all this kind of stuff. Now, I won't say I didn't really enjoy it. It didn't do anything for me, but neither did it repulse me. I didn't pull away like I might have done, you know, as a young man. The thought of doing something like that would have, you know, would have been, oh, no, thank you. So we kissed for maybe about 3 minutes, and his hand is starting to move sort of here, you know, and it's starting to go up to here and to here. But I just, you know, I just can't have it. But I've got the perfect excuse. So anyway, I basically pull away after about 2 or 3 minutes and think, look, I've got to go. My sister's coming to pick me up. I'll give you my phone number. So I give him my phone number, which and he texted me straight back. It's not like you can write it on a piece of paper these days and give a false number. So I gave him my number because he texted me straight back. So as soon as I got in there, and I got a cab home, and as soon as I got in the cab, I blocked him, and that was the end of that. To me, it was just a bit of, I prefer girls, to be honest, but it didn't repulse me. He was very rough. Obviously, he wasn't unshaven, but he obviously hadn't shaven for a couple of days. It was very rough. He sort of tasted a bit not brilliant. It was just an interesting experience. It's not something I'm looking to do. I will admit that I put myself on that corner for 5 or 10 minutes just to see what would happen, just to see if I could pass and draw attention. Obviously, he still has no idea to this day. He's just thought he got lucky, got a kiss off a local girl within about 5 minutes of landing there. A story to tell his friends. But yeah, he definitely wanted to take me up to his hotel room. He was being a little bit graphic at times with some of the things he was saying, which obviously I can't, you know, do. I don't mind the odd kiss as an experiment, and that's basically what it was. When I'm a boy and I'm attracted to girls years ago, it was such a problem trying to find girls to go with, and it was hard work. And whereas it seemed to me that for girls, they have the opposite problem. Instead of trying to find a girl, they have the opposite problem of having to try and get rid of the opposite sex all the time. Because literally I was approached twice within 10 minutes of standing there by boys looking for something.